as we've mentioned, we kind of like to, well, maybe we didn't mention. Well, regardless, we like to think of this podcast as sort of a movie club. It started just the three of us, just kind of on a group text that kind of grew out of control. And so we decided to put it on tape here. And whenever we have a guest on, which is every episode now these days, we have a few questions we want to ask in order to kind of get to know the two of you a little bit better, and your taste, your likes and dislikes, that sort of thing. So with that in mind, we're going to jump into our movie club questions.
What's the password?
New England clam chowder.
Is that the red or the white?
I can never remember that. White?
I'll start with mine. And I want to know, if you could see any movie again for the first time, what would you choose? Erin, I'll start with you.
I guess Royal Tenenbaums. That really blew me away.
Nice.
I was like, it was totally unexpected. And now if I'm flipping dials or something, if it just happens to be on, no matter where it is, I'll just watch it.
Yeah,
Nice.
absolutely. I like that. I'm a fellow Wes Anderson head. I haven't seen French Dispatch yet.
Fantastic.
So good.
I've heard nothing but good things. I'm super excited to check that out. Kevin, what would you see for the first time again?
This is a tough question, as you might imagine. I mean, you're kind of on some level asking kind of what's your favorite movie that you could go back and really experience it. So I went back to my childhood, as I often do. Raiders of the Lost Ark. Dynamite.
Beautiful.
It's still, I mean, a lot of these movies that I watched, from my childhood, I'm going back and watching it and going, not so much anymore, right? But Raiders, it's still got it, man. It's dynamite.
I agree.
Yeah.
So what was
It's
your
a classic.
experience seeing that? You saw it in theaters, I take it?
No, which is another reason why to see it. We saw it like on the ABC Sunday night movie, heavily edited.
Cool.
You know what I
Gotcha.
mean? So
Yeah.
that's
Gotcha.
another reason to see it for the first time, but maybe in a theater this time. God,
Yeah,
That'd be
that would be
cool.
nice.
That's definitely the big screen experience. It's kind of crazy, guys. Like, pick those two because we just did an episode on Scrooged. So we were talking about Bill Murray and Karen Allen. So we were talking about Royal Tenenbaums and Raiders. Both obviously great actors, great movies. My question that I like to ask people is kind of along those lines. Like, if you're stuck on a deserted island, you've got provisions, you got all this stuff, but you're also a movie fan. So you want to take the filmography of somebody with you. So you can take any actor or any director. You have everything they've ever done. If they're still alive, you'll continue to get whatever they keep doing. You got to keep you entertained, while you're on this island. But yeah, I'm always curious to hear what filmography would people take on their deserted island. So Kevin, I'm going to throw to you first.
Tom Cruise.
Oh my God.
Okay.
Hell yeah.
my God.
I like it.
This is another tough one, but I'll tell you what, it's like Cruise. I mean, he's been doing it for 4 decades, basically, right? You got the Top Guns and the Days of Thunder. You got the Mission Impossible movies, which are only getting better and better.
Crazy. Yeah.
He did this movie, Jack Reacher, which flew right under the radar. It is a really good movie. So, and you also get like the Eyes Wide Shut. You get the weird, freaky stuff. You get, he covers the whole gamut.
You're getting Risky Business.
The
You're
Color
getting all
of
kinds
Money.
of stuff.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Color of Money. I just watched
So
that
good.
recently again. Great.
That scene of him singing The Werewolf of London around the pool table is just so good.
So good. I
Oh
think
my
my
God,
favorite thing. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I'm sorry, but you guys are such a guys. These are all such terrible selections.
I mean, guilty as charged,
Continue on.
No, I was just
I mean,
yeah. I was just gonna say that my favorite thing about the Jack Reacher movies, I think in the books he's like this 6 foot, like super tall dude, and then Tom Cruise, I think, is pushing 5'4" or something like that.
Pushing 5'4", yes.
That's my favorite thing about
He's
that.
Hervé Villachez is what he is.
he's basically a hobbit.
Yeah, I love it. But I agree with you on those Mission Impossibles, man. It's crazy. Like, the older he gets, like, those movies just keep getting more and more intense. He's pushing himself. So,
Oh, yeah.
how about you, Erin? Who would be your desert island director or actor?
Absolutely. Wes Anderson. It always
Gotta
gives
do
you
it.
a good sense of well-being after you leave them. And they're all different and unique. And as long as Bill Murray just continues to show up, even if it's for 5 minutes, I'm there.
good to go. I think that's a solid answer. I think it's the first Wes Anderson we've gotten, and the first Tom Cruise, for the record. So I think those are great. I love Wes Anderson's. I'm with you. Like if it's on, I just appreciate like his attention to detail so much. Like I'm a sucker for like the symmetry and all that kind of stuff. So I love his filmmaking style. I could watch his stuff all day. So I think both of those are solid answers.
Those are great answers. My question is, so I mean, our ratings are dying because we lack vulnerability on our podcast, and so I'm going to ask you guys to get a little vulnerable here. And
the focus groups are killing us.
we have to address it. It's getting bad. But we all have those movies that we personally love that we feel go underappreciated, and that those around us either haven't seen or just we don't feel like they love them enough. And here on the podcast, we've kind of coined the term unsung gem for those type of movies. And so my question for you guys is, what is your unsung gem? And let's go with you, Erin.
Lost in Translation, another Bill Murray classic directed by Sofia Coppola.
Love it.
Oh my God, it is so amazing. And no one I know has seen it. And I'm like, you have to go watch Lost in Translation.
Erin,
it's a love story without sex. I mean, it's so beautiful.
Tyler's a resident Lost in Translation fan, so.
Yeah, you promised me disagreement. I'm disappointed. I've agreed with everything you've said on the podcast so far.
Oh, what's
nominated for like Academy Awards? How is it unsung?
So,
how many times have you seen it, Kevin?
I watch it every Saturday night.
The boys on the pod here know I like to quibble with people's selections. Well, I guess only Matt's. I usually try to quibble with Matt as much as possible. I don't know why. He's the nicest person on earth. And I wanted to quibble with that same point that I think it was nominated for awards and whatnot, but I do agree that it doesn't quite get the attention it deserves. People sort of either dismiss it or just haven't seen it or whatever. So I'm going to let it slide, Erin, but only because I like you.
How about you, Kevin?
Oh, that makes it sound like I don't like Matt. That's such a bummer. It couldn't be farther from the truth.
We'll get into that later.
Clear.
How about you, Kevin?
Well, mine is very much an unsung gem. Gem is the question. The one I love, going back to the 80s, is the horror comedy classic, Night of the Creeps. You got alien leeches that go in your brain and turn you into a crazy zombie. You can't beat it.
That's awesome.
That's amazing.
Boom.
Case closed.
One more. Got to put it on my list now.
I love the tagline on the poster. It just says, "If you scream, you're dead." Like, I love
the stakes
that.
have never been higher.
He says, "I've got some good news and bad news. Good news, your dates are here. The bad news, they're dead." That's all you need.
Classic good news, bad news there.
That's textbook for sure.
So we've heard a few obscure movies on the Unsung Gem. I think this might be Bone Cop, Bad Cop might be the most obscure. That's a Canadian good cop. It literally means like bone cop, like good in French. So good cop, bad cop.
Okay.
It's a Canadian movie.
I thought it was
about
a porno.
Yeah, that's
not the porno.
So I think those are our two deepest cuts. That would be a fun double feature of the Unsung Gem deep cuts.
Yeah.
Well, we love that segment. We love getting those answers. It gives us a chance to kind of talk about stuff not in the podcast and get to know you guys a little bit better. So that's great. We love it. And thank you very much for participating.